Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name's Richard and today we're with the Dacia Spring. This is my Dacia Spring. I own it, one of the few in the UK that are giving information out on YouTube about their experiences with the Dacia Spring, and I hope this helps you. Today we're focusing on the negative things about the Dacia Spring, and the first one is getting in and out. I'm 5'10", with a 30-inch inner leg, which gives you an idea of whatever the dimensions, but to get in it you've got to be really careful of this section of the roof and the height of the seat. You've got to get your head right under so you don't bang it. Now as I sit here, you can probably see that the top of my head is above this line. On 2 or 3 occasions now, when I've got out of the car, I've gone like this and gone bang and cut the back of my head. To get out of the car, if you're 5'10" or taller, then you've really got to get down or you will scrape all the skin off the back of your head and it ends up sticking about here. I've had to wipe dead skin off. And it's pretty painful. There's the first one. Let's go for a ride. I'm not a negative person, I'm quite a positive person. But I want you to be aware of these. They're not the gripes, yeah? Just things to be that you need to know about if you're thinking about buying the Dacia Spring. So we've talked about the height of this roof bar or door area and getting in and out. You need to be careful of that. When you're sitting in this car, the rake on the steering wheel doesn't come backwards and forwards like this. So, you know, I'm sat here with my wrists on the stretched out onto the steering wheel, and that's how it should be. So now I've got access to the full wheel. If you're not sure of how to position your seat, that's how you measure it. You want your wrists on the top of the on the top of the steering wheel. Because of that, because the steering wheel doesn't come in and out, then that means I can't put the seat back to get the right position. And as such, you're very close to the dashboard, yeah, the instrument panels, etc. What I have noticed is, because you're so close, this A-pillar here is very close to your face. It really is close to your face. I don't know, what's the distance there? 30 centimetres, 12 inches, no idea. But as you're looking out of the window here and here, sometimes I find I have to do this and look around, making sure I can see what's on the other side of this A-pillar. You have to go like that, just to double check that nothing's out of your view. Let this person go. That's the next point. The tyres are not particularly great. They're adequate, but they could be much better. I'm going to be tempted to change the tyres at some point in the near future. I've not really tried the tyres out yet in the wet because it's April now in the UK, and March and April, got the car on the 12th of March, it's now April the 7th, I think, and it's been a very dry period. If we continue like this in the UK, with it being so dry, in a month's time the government will be talking about drought warnings. because we've got so many people in the UK now. So many people. The infrastructure can't cope with having a shower every day and all that good stuff. Anyway, that's another subject. But the tyres, I don't know what they're like in the wet yet. I will find out, but based on the tyres in the dry, they could be much better. If I was only doing city work, then there would be no problems. But I'm using A roads in the countryside, where it's 50 mile an hour, 60 mile an hour. And going around the corners, sometimes it feels like the tyres are going to let go. Yeah, it feels like they're just at their limits. So a few people have advised on previous videos on the Dacia Spring that they use this particular tyre or that particular tyre and it's much better. I think we will be changing the tyres, and to change the tyres will be approximately £400. There we go. So £400 for a new set of tyres, which will probably be more confident in the wet and even better in the dry. Putting it into drive or reverse or neutral. There we are. The gear lever, or move forward or backwards. Move forward or backwards. Reverse or drive. When you put it in reverse or drive, you have to hold it there for 0.2 of a second for it to then accept that it's going into drive or reverse. You do get used to this, but sometimes when you're in a little bit of a rush, which we all are at some point, you forget it, and then you're trying to put it in reverse and it's not gone into reverse. So you try again, and then you realise you have to hold it for 0.2 of a second, yeah? So that's one thing. You do get used to that. I can sort of understand why they do that. It makes the system confirm that you're sure that you want to go into reverse, yeah, and not then start rolling. There's another point. Another niggle. The next niggle is it doesn't have a park like an automatic car. Now, this is my first electric car and I have not a lot of experience in it. This was purchased because the numbers financially were correct, yeah, and they are correct, and it's proving so. But this car doesn't have a park like an automatic car would. So everything is reliant, when it's parked up, everything is reliant on the handbrake to keep the car static. I've not, because I live in a flat area. If I lived in Sheffield where the hills are steep, I might be a little concerned about that, yeah? And as such, I would probably go and buy some chocks for the wheels so that the car won't roll off should there be a failure on the handbrake. Because if there is a failure on the handbrake, the car will roll, yeah? It will roll. You need to be aware of that. So the handbrake and the mechanisms that operate the handbrake need to be absolutely spot on all the time. All the time. If there's any failure or you haven't pulled the handbrake up far enough, the car will start to roll. You need to be aware of that. So I appreciate that in the UK we don't have an MOT for the first 3 years of the life of a vehicle, but in this, at your service, every year, I would ask them to please sort out the handbrake and make sure it's working correctly and at its most optimal. And finally, the heater. When the heater is on full, it only comes out warm. It doesn't come out hot. How this will be in the depths of winter, when it's -2 degrees in the UK, I'm not so sure. It would be much better, and I would want it to be hotter, on the understanding that it will affect the range of the vehicle from a charging perspective. It will affect the range. I would want it to be hotter. Therefore, the cabin will get nice and hot or warm. And I would forgo the range for it to be hotter in the cabin when winter comes. Okay? Maybe it's this car, but it does come through warm. It doesn't come through hot. I might be doing something wrong. You tell me. These are the only negative things I can think about for this vehicle, the Dacia Spring. On the understanding we've just talked about the negative things, yeah? On the understanding we've just talked about the negative things, the car overall is brilliant. If I was going to give it a score for what it is in our use case, it's 90%. In fact, I'd probably go to 95%. To put that in perspective, yeah? To put that in perspective, if my child came home and said they'd got 90% in their maths exam for GCSE or A-levels, 90%, I would be over the moon. I would be bouncing up and down with joy. So 90% is a really good score. Yeah? Do you agree? I'm giving this 90%. Couple of stupid things. All these are human. Yeah? Maybe the handbrake isn't human. But I can't see around that, so I've got to go like that. I keep on banging my head on there. I'll have to learn. I'll eventually learn. Yeah? The heater could be a bit warmer. These are only the small negative things. Overall, 90%. 90% in your maths GCSE or A-levels, that's something to really celebrate. So 90% for this car, it's a winner. And if you're looking for a small car that costs virtually nothing to run, then you should consider this car. You really should. In fact, just bear with me before I go onto the main road. There we are. We're in reverse, but I held it in for 0.2 of a second. Let me just park here and bring the video to a close. Put it into neutral. There we are. That's gone into neutral. That's about it. What do you think? Are you thinking about buying one? Have you already got one? What's your thoughts? You tell me. I'm really enjoying this car. It's great. It's like a toy. And it's great fun. It really is great fun. Would I buy another one? Absolutely. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. If you've not driven one, go and test ride one. The 0 to 40 mile an hour is super fast. And that's where you spend most of your speed, between 0 and 40 mile an hour. It's super fast. It's not a slow car. Yeah? It's probably not a good idea to use this car to transit Europe. Yes? But it's not designed for that. It's not designed for that. It's a top-notch car, 90% at this moment in time. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was informative. Please do subscribe. Give it a like. drive safely, ride safely, be kind to everyone, and eat healthily. See you soon. Bye-bye.